So you can now send money without data or internet connection. You can now send money without a good network or even zero network through this Nigerian new payment tech system, which NIBSS unveils as offline payment, which is meant to reach millions of people that don't have access to internet or good networks, or people wey dey village. You understand? Omo, this is mad. Nigeria done the bad. Nigeria done the bad. So guys, in this video, I will explain to you what happened. I'll also tell you how this is going to work. And finally, I will tell you why this is important to us in Nigeria and why does this really matter. Alright guys, so what happened? NIBSS announced offline payment technology. Pooh, mad. Nigeria done it bad. So what is even this NIBSS? NIBSS means Nigeria Interbank Settlement System. I hope I got that well. So they announced this offline payment technology. Nigerians will now be able to send money without internet. So the goal of this is to reach millions of people without network or no data. This is what is happening in our country. Nigeria done the better, my brother. So those of now with the Yankee, better start to come back. I said it, Nigeria will be better. So guys, how does offline payments actually work? Your phone or your device is pre-trusted. What does it mean by pre-trusted? Keyword. What do you mean by that? Now, before offline payments can work, your bank has already verified you. And I said it was NIBSS that is unveiling this new tech. They are responsible for payments, for transfers, for POS, and for banks. They are just like the backbone. So before offline payments can work, your bank must have verified you. Your device is already linked to that account. Just that device. No plenty device. Also, this happens while your internet is available. So of course, when you get to the bank, internet always dey now, network dey always dey, abi? So during that process, all these things has already been done. So step 2, you can make a payment while offline. This is where the magic happens. How is that possible? Now look, so when you try to send money with no data, or say your network is bad, you understand, or no even internet, the system does not try to contact the bank. Of course, how will it contact the bank when there's no internet, there's no network? Practically impossible. So what is going to happen? It does not fail the transaction. So how the money will take go? So instead, it records the payment request securely. It records it, and it stores it temporarily on the device or payment system. So that's just like writing a check that has not been cashed out yet. So step 3, this is very important because people would think, this thing, security no go really dey. But security is there. Now look, so the system checks your fingerprint and PIN. It also checks your device identity, that device that you registered when you went to the bank, when there was internet. It also checks your preset spending limits. Say, okay, now 50k this person will spend in a day, or you can't do more than 5k in a week. It will check that one. So that is why offline payment will have low limits. Now just for small transaction, you can't use offline payment and be sending 2 million. It will not work. So let's say 2k, urgent 5k, urgent 10k, abi? So guys, step 4, the payment waits. Nothing disappears. You get, your transaction is still locked. The timestamp is kept. That's the time that transaction happened. Then it will be waiting for confirmation. Finally, this is the miracle. So once networks come back or the internet comes back, the system now sends the stored transaction to the bank. It checks. This is a sync. It tries to sync. It just be like say they keep all the old pending transaction for one kind small temporary storage, right? So once data come or once there's internet, it will now push it. It now sends the stored transaction to the bank. The bank now confirms and settles it from their own end. Then both sides are updated. That is when the money is fully moved. So all these ones where we they do without network, without this thing, is just storing it somewhere. Is storing it somewhere so that when you have gotten network, internet connection or whatever, before you know, on its own, it will just automatically pick. In reality, it's still going to work with network. But what this is doing is just making sure a transaction process has been initiated pending till when there will be network coverage to push it. Why is this important? Why does it matter to real life? Now, network phase, when you are sending transaction, before you know, network don't disconnect, transaction is gone. This person doesn't receive it, but yet they don't debit you. Why? Network fails. Also, I don't have data, but I want to send or initiate a transaction so that when I can have data, it will immediately go. Rural areas that are left out are now going to be integrated because this is mainly for people in the rural areas because of the lack of access to network or internet. Also, older Nigerians wey dey struggle with opay, if you tell my grandmother now say use opay send money, they be like wetin be opay? But with this, you don't need opay. All you need to do is just to have the account number of the recipient, initiate the transaction, even if it's ordinary 2k. But at the end of the day, let us look at this. You will still need internet, still need network to initiate a transaction, because it's not going to be possible for you to make a transaction without network. Guys, what do you think about this? Let me hear your opinion. Perhaps I did not do my research well. You can teach me in the comment box. I'm ready to learn. We can share ideas. Thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. My eyes are on you.